Do you find yourself struggling to meet women through online dating apps? Are you tired of constantly swiping left with no success and not knowing what to say to get the attention of a woman? Look no further. Our expert tips and tricks will give you the confidence you need to succeed in the online dating world. It's time to start taking control of your dating life and master the art of online dating. Imagine meeting some of the most attractive women in the world. Our game-changing program will help you navigate the world of online dating with confidence and charm. From creating a standout profile to crafting the perfect message, we've got you covered every step of the way. Our program covers everything you need to know to make a lasting impression. Say goodbye to endless swiping and hello to meaningful connections with the women of your dreams. Join the countless men who have found success in meeting women through online dating by following our time-tested and proven strategies. Take the first step towards improving your dating life today. Master the art of online dating and take your game to the next level. With our proven strategies, you'll be a pro at online dating in no time. So don't wait. Go to onlinedatingfordummies.com and get started today. And take control of your dating life, and you'll be light years ahead of most men with our groundbreaking program. Get ready to swipe right with confidence and watch your success explode. So don't wait. Get started today by going to onlinedatingfordummies.com and take the first step towards finding your perfect match.
Yo! It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. So I got a question yesterday. Somebody was like, what do I think about the gender wars between men and women? And to be specifically, he said, the gender wars between black men and black women online. This is a good one, and I can talk all day about this, you know. But at the end of the day, it's kind of it's a myth, to be honest, and I'm gonna tell you why. See, here's the problem with a lot of us, a lot of black people, men and women. I think a lot of our parents have done us a disservice in our ways of thinking, and a lot of that has been passed down to us. And a lot of us are just catching on to some of our ways of thinking. It just didn't work out. And what I'm talking about specifically is a lot of these people from a lot of these African countries, they just don't like us like that. That's just the reality. And see, the problem that our parents did, not all of our parents, but a lot of I would say, if your parents lived in a big city or in a town where there was a lot of immigrants in the 70s and 80s and 90s, there's a good chance your parents would see or meet somebody that's from Nigeria, Sudan, South Africa, East Africa. They would meet someone like that, even in college or at work, and they would automatically say, "Hey, that's my brother, that's my sister," right? But these people, they don't like us like that. That's just the reality. And a lot of us have a hard time letting that sink in our heads, because a lot of us on that Pan-African crap. We want to be cool with all these people that ain't cool with us. So what would happen? See, when a lot of these people come over here, a lot of these women that come over here from these African countries, African countries, Nigeria, Kenya, Niger, all East Africa, South Africa. When they already have problems with guys already, and even in the Middle East, these women that come over, they have problem with guys because the guys beat them down, and they be complaining and all type of shit. So they're bringing these women over here with that same mindset, and I've met a bunch of them over here within the past 20 years with that same mindset. A lot of these women, they don't like guys. They're hardcore feminists. A lot of these women they don't really like guys. The only reason they would tolerate a guy a lot of times is if they need something. They need the car fixed, need to cut my grass in the yard, whatever they can do, they're looking for a man to do it. These are hardcore feminists. Hard, and that's usually what happens. And see, what the mistake that a lot of us make is we see them and we assume that they just like us. That's a mistake. And see, these same men and women, a lot of them are on TV. A lot of them are entertainers, athletes, rappers. And we'll see their names and we don't even think nothing of it. We just assume that, hey, he black, he cool, she black, he cool. But they don't like us like that. And a lot of times we get exploited. These people will come amongst us, befriend us, get what they can get, and as soon as they get in a position where they can tell us what to do, they shit on us. That's what happens. So when you turn on the TV or when you're on the internet and you listen to some sports show or somebody doing a video, they're trying to capitalize off us. They're trying to monetize the drama that's already online anyway amongst these people. Because you got to look at it like this. A lot of these people, they don't have no talent. They really don't have no skills at doing anything else. Yeah, they might have a job, but it's just a job. It's nothing special. It's just an office job or some corporate job. But the channel, when they started that channel, the channel might have took off. It blew up. And that's all really they have. They really don't have any acquired skill like I do. For me, for example, I know how to do a lot of things online. I know how to build websites. I know how to build apps. I know how to market and promote almost anything at this point. So I know how to do a lot of techie things, right? These people that's online, that's talking and saying outrageous shit, they don't really know how to do anything. They just talk, run their mouth, say anything, because they have to get attention. A lot of these people are what we call internet sensations. They'll try to say the most outrageous, negative things so people can listen to them. So the algorithm will, keep showing their videos. That's all they're doing. And most of these people are foreigners. Most of these women are foreigners. Yeah, they might look good. Yeah, she might look like a black woman. Yeah, he might look like a black man. But if you do some background check, what you're gonna find is your favorite YouTuber, your favorite rapper, singer, actress, actor, has an immigrant background. These people that are talking the outrageous shit, these people have immigrant background. Let's take Nicki Minaj for a second. You heard a video that's floating around online, some of the stuff she was saying. Well, Nicki Minaj is from some Caribbean. I think she's from St. Thomas, somewhere in the Caribbean, somewhere. If I'm not, she ain't from here. I know that much. She's from the Caribbean somewhere. It's either St. Thomas or Trinidad, right? She ain't from here. So you can say, you can come up with the reason why she's saying and doing whatever. I don't know why she's saying and why she's doing it. But I know one thing, she ain't from here. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these people, when they come over here, they don't have no loyalty to being here in this country. Look, a lot of these people are turncoat traders when they come over here. They're traders. They don't... Look, let me tell you something. A lot of these people, when they come over here, especially during wartime, a lot of these people's families work with the U.S. government. They work with the military to turn on their people where they came from in their homeland. So that's how a lot of them get over here. They give them a conditional visa based on how they behave, and they can't ever go back to where they came from because they already know what's going to happen to them if they go back. Man, their kids might not even be able to go back. You know? So you can't trust anybody that turns on their own people. You know, I remember I was when I lived in Atlanta, I met this girl that was from Iraq. And she was talking about how horrible the guys were, where she came from, and how she got beat up and all that shit. And she went on and on for 45 minutes talking. It was a group of us. She went on and on for like 45 minutes talking about how horrible the guy is. Every guy she meets, something wrong with them, they're horrible. And these types of women, you can't trust. These types of people, you can't trust them. If they're willing to turn, because and once I got to know her better, I realized how she got over here. She's one of those people that's a turncoat trader. She got over here because she worked with, I think it was some type of, I think she was a contractor for one of these companies that work with the military. I think it was like Bridgewater at the time. She was like a contractor along with them. So I'm like, oh, you can't trust that, bro. That's why she was talking like that. You know, she was a hardcore feminist. You know, look, a lot of these women, man, they don't like God. They don't like anything about a guy. They don't like nothing about a guy. You know, unless they need something. That's it. Otherwise, women are better. They enjoy being around women all day long. But when it comes to being around a man, oh, it's a struggle. You know, they don't enjoy being around a man at all. They gotta get high or pop a pill to be around a guy for hours and days. You know, they can't do it. They gotta pop a pill or get high or get drunk, you know, or drink some wine or some shit, because they don't like being around a guy. That's why if you look at a lot of women out here today, they enjoy being around women. Yeah, they enjoy being around their girlfriend. Why do you think that is? You think that's just because? No, they enjoy being around their girlfriend because they secretly in the closet. Yeah. See, we don't, us guys, we don't really think anything of it. We just think that, hey, she just like hanging around her girlfriends. They're pretty close. Yeah, they're pretty close in more ways than you probably think. They enjoy being around their girlfriend, especially a lot of these women especially from these other groups. The older they get, they're one of their biggest fantasies is to lay down with a woman. Yeah. So they don't really like. A lot of these women don't, especially today. They don't really like being around guys like that. Nah, shit, man. Especially when they start getting older and they're not looking as attractive as they used to look. You know what I'm saying? Well, with the exception of black women, they age gracefully, as long as they don't, get high or abuse alcohol, anything like, or have some type of plastic surgery. Other than that, most black women age gracefully, but these other groups of women, no, they don't age gracefully at all. And then, because then as they get older, the guys within their group ain't really giving them no attention like that. So their mind starts to wonder, and they be like, man, I wonder what it'd be like being with a woman. That's their fantasy. You got guys that are married to women that think like this. You know what I'm saying? So this is the mindset of a lot of these women that's coming over here. They're not really into guys like that from jump. A guy to them is kind of like a stepping stone or a come up in most cases. It's like you have a lot of transactional relationships amongst these other groups of women. That's why when a girl that's from someplace like Nigeria or Kenya or countries like that, or from the Caribbean, meet a guy like me, or maybe meet a guy like you, or at least a black American man, just in general, they look at us like we're real men. We're real masculine men, because where they from, the guys ain't really like that. That's why a lot of relationships they have with those guys amongst her group is transactional. That has a lot to do with the relationship being transactional, because they're not really into them guys like that. Then you have a very small percentage of these women will come over here and they'll flip and they'll get with a guy like me, and they'll pretty much leave all that shit alone. But it could go either way. A lot of times they come over here, they're hardcore feminists, man. And then some of them, they looking for a white guy, straight up. They straight up with it. First white guy they see, they jump on top of him. You know what I'm saying? So see, a lot of these women are opportunists. A lot of these people are opportunists. That's because you got to think about it like this. There's some entertainers, you've seen this with some entertainers, if you've seen them get awards, as soon as they get a damn award, they're like, shout out to Nigeria, all the Nigerians. Shout out to all the Kenyans. Shout out to all the Puerto Ricans. They don't say that shit when they're on the movie set. They don't say that shit once they're amongst their so-called friends. Hell no. They only say that shit once it's some award or some type of achievement. But they black when they want to be. They black when the person did a crime. Oh, he's black. Oh, it's that type of shit. But when there's some type of something positive, shout out to where they came from. You know what I'm saying? So they separate themselves when they want. They're black when they want to be. And these people are opportunists. Look, I can be sitting down I can hear a story. Somebody done something, or they claim somebody done something. I've been living so long. I've been living long enough to know I can tell you where the person damn near is from based on the story. Yeah, I can tell you damn near where the person is from based on the story, based on what they claim the person done or what they said the person done. If I didn't know who Nicki Minaj was, being a rapper, if you told me that she was talking to I don't know, the dude's wife, or hanging around the Trump supporters, I already know that ain't gonna be no black woman from where I'm from. She has to be a foreigner or somebody with an immigrant background. You might say, well, why, how you know that? Because we don't get down like that. Look, some of us are opportunists, but there's a certain line that we ain't gonna go past. We ain't gonna go but so far. You know what I'm saying? We ain't hanging out with no Trump. We ain't hanging out with no Trump supporters or nobody associated with Trump. Yeah, we might meet up with them to see what we can get. Like I said, some of us are opportunists. We might meet up with them to see what we can get, but we ain't hanging out trying to be buddies. Hell no. Only people with immigrant backgrounds and foreigners will do something like that. We not going that far. You know, and see, you got to keep in mind, these people are opportunists. They're trying to monetize off of our struggle over here. And this has been going on before I was born, and probably before you were born. That's how it is. Where a lot of people are just starting to catch on. But knew how a lot of these people was when I went in the Navy. When I went in the Navy and I started to travel around the world for the past 20 years, I've learned that, look, a lot of these other groups of people, they're not really fucking with us like that. And that's just what it is. You can't force nobody to like you or be around you. You know, I just came to grips. Look, they just ain't down with us like that. Yeah, you have your one-on-one relationships, but I'm talking about as a group. These other groups of people ain't down with us like that. And that's okay. It don't bother me. I came to grips with it like 20 years ago. You know, probably a little bit more than that. But I'm just saying, the gender wars for us, between us, never existed. For the most part, black men and black women, we get along. Yeah, we have our little, things we disagree. We agree to disagree, and that's it. But we don't take it that far. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's not going to agree with everything. That's just reality. But that doesn't mean you can't get along or can't coexist in the same space. You know what I'm saying? See, I can tell people, I can tell where most people are from or where their family originated from based on where they live today. If somebody tells me they from New York, they have immigrant background. If someone said they from Miami, or all of Florida, really, especially Miami, South Florida, they have an immigrant background. If California, they have an immigrant background. Hell, most people on TV have an immigrant background. So they way of thinking ain't the same. That's just what it is. So whenever these people start talking, I don't take them serious. Because I can't relate to them. And they probably can't relate to me either. whether it's sports, entertainment, or whatever it is, whatever the person is doing, they're trying to monetize whatever they're doing. And that's fine. I don't have to like it, but I expect them to do that. But they get away with it because the producers of the show allow them to do it. That's why because if the producers of the show didn't like it, they wouldn't be able to say it, or they'd be fired. Like Stephen A. Smith got suspended a few months ago. I think this was last year. He got suspended because he said something about some group of people. But even Stephen A. Smith have immigrant background. Most of the people that's talking online, that's on TV, have immigrant backgrounds. Men and women. Your favorite rapper, singer, have an immigrant background. So they, in my mind, we're not the same. And you might like them, and that's okay if you like them. But we don't come from the same place. We're not cut from the same cloth. We're not of the soil. I don't look at them as black. I don't. They are Caribbean or wherever, African or wherever they came from, wherever the family came from. And that's okay. But to try to group all us in the basket together, no. Oh, who the hell does that? They don't even do that. They don't do that with us. Only people that does that is white people. To a certain extent, unless they give them a job or some shit like that. Because when it comes to jobs, white people will hire a person from the Caribbean before they hire somebody like me. That's a fact. You better believe that. Yeah, it is what it is. So the black gender wars, that came from the outside. That started out in the 60s, 70s. When they started letting people come over like in the boatloads in the 80s. They went to New York, Florida, California by the boatloads in the 80s and 90s. They flood the big cities. So hey, you might disagree. Tell me what you think below. Like, share this episode, and don't forget to hit the Cash App on your way out. Till next time, I'm out.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Here from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy.